Being a YouTuber requires that you learn something and then you then have to unlearn it, because there are many things being echoed out there that just aren't true, or if they were true, the algorithms change and they're no longer true. So I'm going to save you a load of time today by putting together 7 mistakes or 7 things that are no longer true that you may have heard about YouTube. And I'm also going to give you and reveal to you what I do instead to gain traction. So the first one you would have gone through, everyone goes through this, is number 1, obsession with subscribers. Yes, everyone wants to get subscribers. When you start out, you know you can't be monetized without a certain amount of subscribers, 1,000 subscribers I believe it is. But also you know that without subscribers, it feels like no one takes any notice of your videos. Now, I'm not going to waste this tip on talking about subs for subs. Everyone knows that doesn't work. That's where you ask someone, I'll sub for you if you sub for me. Ultimately,
I do subscribe because I'm producing more and more of these videos to help you benefit from my 20 years.
Getting a subscription to a channel means nothing at all. And this is where the change is whereas people are focusing on getting loads of subscribers, maybe you should be focusing more on just producing great content, because many people will watch your videos regularly because it's suggested to them. It's not any longer based on whether they subscribe or not. So Google's aware through the algorithm of the patterns of what you watch, and if it thinks you'll be particularly interested in the video and it's maybe someone you've watched before, even if you're not subscribed to that channel, you will be suggested that video. Now, Ed Lawrence mentioned recently that if you obsess about subscribers and say you've got 10,000 and you're thinking I need to get the target of 100,000 and get my silver plaque, just consider if you're now doing YouTube full time, you're trying to earn a living from it, maybe the focus should be on quality, and maybe think just for a moment what 10,000 subscribers looks like. Maybe the focus has all been wrong, that maybe 10,000 people in a stadium looks quite different, in fact looks like this, and then this is what 100,000 people looks like. So looking at a stadium packed with 10,000 fans, do you really think I need more views and subscribers still? And he's saying that as an audience, you could work with that number. You'd be blown away by how that audience could potentially give you a good income stream if you could tap into what it is they're after. And he goes on to say the truth is most creators don't need a whole stadium's worth of viewers, they just need a steady income. So stop being sidetracked with subscribers and start focusing on marketing and measuring your success as to how people are buying into your products. So just an interesting point of view there from Ed. Okay, so myth number 2, tags, keywords. This is how you have to include this one, because this is one that everyone has gone through. So finding out what the keywords are that are being searched is important. But how do you get those keywords across? Years ago, you used to have tags. We still have tags on YouTube. What I would do, and what I would suggest you do, is think in terms of the keywords you're trying to rank for. You can put them in the tags if you want, but include them in the title. And even more importantly, include them in the first few lines of your description. If you consider that YouTube actually produces subtitles for videos, so it knows what's being said. So it's got a good understanding as soon as you upload your video, what types of keywords you're using, particularly at the beginning of your video. So the combination of your description, your title, and what you say in the video is better than all the tags in the world that you could throw at it. So myth number 3 is I was told once that once you get to 200 videos, then the algorithm starts working for you. Well, that's a load of rubbish, because if you look, there are plenty of successful YouTubers that have just released 3 or 4 videos and blown up. There are some channels that have had 400 videos and nothing ever happens. Why? It's down to the quality of the production. In fact, some of the really best YouTubers will have 2nd or 3rd channels, and because they've already know how to produce a quality video, then they'll blow up straight away because people recognize the quality of their video. So it's not about the amount of videos being made. The reason why that gets echoed around is that as you make more videos, you will improve the quality and the production, the lighting, the sound. All those things make a difference to how the video is then perceived. So that's where the focus should be. So if you can get up to speed by editing videos, by making them interesting, by improving the quality of the videos and appealing to your audience and involving your audience, that's how you're going to get views. That's how your channel will eventually blow up. So number 4, there's a magic formula. There is no magic formula. There are so many videos out there claiming that if you do this, then you'll succeed. It's not going to happen. The fact is the algorithm is far more complicated than some magic formula that's being released. What is fair to say is your attention is one of the things, your click-through rate is another thing. Your click-through rate's affected by your title and thumbnail. But ultimately, if people are watching the video for longer, and if it's keeping them on YouTube, that's what's going to be rewarded, because that makes business sense to YouTube. And that also makes sense to your audience, because your audience are actually saying, by staying longer, they're enjoying the video. That's a vote in itself. Myth number 5 is you have to keep publishing regularly. You have to do 3 videos a week. Well, we've seen experiments. Ed tried that on Film Booth. It made no difference. Some say you have to do it regularly every certain point on a Monday at a certain time. Well, that will help in some ways. If people like your videos, they like to know that at a certain point of the week, your video is going to be waiting for them to look at. But ultimately, even if you take a few weeks off, YouTube rewards titles that actually get people to watch, and the retention where it continues to go on far, far further than 20, 30, 40% of the video. So that's what you're really aiming for. So if it means that you take 3 or 4 weeks out to do a really high quality, valuable video, and the retention goes through the roof, then that's what you're after. And it won't make any difference whether you had a break of 3 or 4 weeks. So forget the idea that you have to regularly publish a video. So point number 6, you need an introduction, or maybe it's called an indent, or an advert as to who you are, explain your background and your authority. Well, I started doing that on my videos a few years ago, but you lose almost 30 seconds by the time you've got kind of wrapped up into the whole thing, explained who you are, the history, you have perhaps a little logo that's animated. Ultimately, your regular customers have seen that once, they've seen it twice, and then that's it. They just forward through it, or they just switch off. And no one wants to be sitting through that in the first 30 seconds of the video. The first 30 seconds of the video, it really sets up the rest of the video. So if you're not giving any good content right from the start, so you'll notice in this video, 10 seconds or so, we were straight into the first area of this video. And that's really what you want to do. You go straight into what you're promising through the thumbnail and get content over that's going to be valuable to your audience. And that's what gets rewarded. Point number 7 is just post anything that's interesting. Well, I would say that's absolutely wrong unless you've really got a large channel. Most people need to niche down to something in particular. The more specific you are, the more likely you've got of then growing, because you're a specialist in this subject. So it's fair to say that if it's something that you can really talk about with authority, that makes a great niche for a channel. But ultimately, you don't want to be trying to come in with your personal life here and I'm going on holiday, so I'm going to blog that or vlog that, and then I'm going to talk about YouTube videos. In fact, what I've had to do is I've had to go back to my old channel, which was about web design and about logos and about colors, and I've had to start taking those videos out because it's been ruining my niche. And then I've also set up this particular channel that's all about the YouTube stuff that I had on there too, and gradually bringing some of those videos over too. So I'm having to now backtrack because through bad advice, I was much more broader on my spectrum of video titles. And it wasn't that broad. I was still talking about business, I was still talking about SEO, search engine optimization, but I was bringing in videos as well on YouTube. And this is a separate channel that covers that. And that's a glimpse into why I deleted all my viral great videos that were on my other channel. And now I'm gradually, as I delete them, bringing them across to here. So if you want to find out the story of that and why I've done that, then you need to watch this video that will explain why you may need to also delete your best videos on your channel if you want to grow in the future. I'll see you on that video.